#MSW.
You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
I'm surprised that my kids are still here. I mean, I love you. Thank you for supporting me, but it's 1 a.m. When are you going to sleep tonight?
Wayne Arons, ladies and gentlemen. I remember your agent, Ashley Rasul, at the time, and he said that Sundowns were very disrespectful and very distasteful in how your deal came to an end at Sundowns. What's your feeling now?
I felt disappointed, all the effort you put in. I remember we played a friendly only to find out that someone took my jersey and your number, and it was just that was disrespectful.
But when they released you, were you consulted, were you calling a meeting by management or coaches, or how did you learn that you are no longer part of the team moving forward?
Yeah, obviously the management called me in and he said, obviously, they're getting in new players, and obviously, if someone tells you that you're not in the plans, and obviously there's nothing you can do. I took it as professionally because now they're releasing a few players, and unfortunately my name was there, and I said, okay, I understand, and we move on.
Your time that you had in professional football, and especially your time at Mamelodi Sundowns.
There's no substitute for hard work. Pitso demanded hard work and work ethic and those sort of things. He drilled it in us. I picked up that, there's no shortcuts in life.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Well, it's been an afternoon of sheer drama, though, on the football front. We'll tell you all about that in a second. But the Wednesday edition of Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947. Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
The breaking news story, if you just hopped into your car and you've been looking at that screen of yours on the computer the entire day, I can tell you, though, that when it rains, as they say, it pours. That kind of perfectly describes, though, the KZN-based Royal AM and what they are going through right now. Torrential rains, in fact, to be precise. I guess week after week, things just keep getting worse for them. From financial woes, tax evasion, to unhappy players, unpaid players, paid late players. I think it's a whole lot more problems. So the breaking news for the day has been, in response, the Premier Soccer League have taken the very bold step of cancelling Royal AM's Nedbank Cup as well as the Betway Premiership fixtures. And we also just received a correspondence, though, that the Democratic Alliance has put out in the Sunduzi local municipality, having submitted a motion calling for the municipality to review and ultimately terminate 27 million rand sponsorship for the football club. I think you and I and everybody else knows the history of what happened there. If I'm not mistaken, even Carte Blanche had a story on that some time ago. Well, in a statement, I'll briefly read it, that was released just this afternoon, saying that on the 9th of January 2025, Royal AMFC informed the league that it could not meet its commitments in respect of its match against Chippa United on the 11th of January 2025 due to difficulties arising from the appointment of a curator. Now, the Executive Committee, the EXCO, has since convened 3 separate meetings seeking the assurance that the club under curatorship will be able to meet its fixture commitments in a compliant fashion. Now, on the 17th of January 2025, EXCO were informed that a joint letter of comfort from the club management as well as the curator would be provided, confirming that the issues that led to the club being unable to meet its commitments had been resolved. No such letter of comfort has been forthcoming, and the EXCO has been left with no alternative. That's their word. They've been left with no alternative but to cancel PSL fixture 106, Royal AM versus Orlando Pirates at the Harry Gwala Stadium at 19:30, and to suspend, another crucial bit of information, to suspend all other Royal AM fixtures in the Betway Premiership as well as the Nedbank Cup until further notice. The executive finally says committee will meet again on Friday, the 24th of January 2025 at 11 o'clock in the morning to afford Royal AM under curatorship to make representations regarding this particular matter. So, I think it is heavily worded. I think it's as honest as they could have put it, because it's not the first or the second or the third time. It's been ongoing problems. Then later this afternoon, just before we went on air, we got from the DA Msunduzi Councillor Reggie Kanyile, who we have been trying to get hold of, but has not been able to pick up our calls. His phone is now off, saying that the DA submits motion for Msunduzi to review and terminate Royal AM's 27 million rand sponsorship, saying that the local municipality has submitted motion calling for the municipality to review and ultimately terminate 27 million sponsorship. The municipality cannot continue supporting a business facing serious legal proceedings, including allegations of tax evasion. Non-compliance with tax laws and deliberate tax evasion are criminal offences that should not be taken lightly by any municipal authority, saying that maintaining a relationship with an entity under such scrutiny is damaging to the municipality's reputation. Royal AM is already under curatorship, facing sequestration processes and unable to pay staff salaries. Now, the club has breached contracts with former players and is facing sanctions from FIFA and risks being declared insolvent by the World Football governing body. Continuing this sponsorship brings nothing but disrepute, I guess, to the Msunduzi municipality. And they say that the DA has consistently opposed the sponsorship of Royal AM, especially given the dire state of the service delivery in that area. Collapsing infrastructure has left residents without consistent access to water, electricity. So it goes on. But that is the communication. So on either side. So we've tried to reach out to the league. Yes, the statement is there. I've read it out to you. We've tried to reach out to the DA. Their statement is there. We've read it out to you right now. But as soon as, believe you me, we do get further word, I think it also makes sense to reach out to SARS. You know, because if it's under curatorship, then they should be having a voice in all of this to say what is the extent, what role are they in, and where is the current status when it comes to this football club. I suppose for many of us, it's a first time having to go through something of this nature within the professional ranks. Would more than wonder what your thoughts are. Do send us your WhatsApp voice notes 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Wayne Aronson, ladies and gentlemen, being at Sundowns from 2012 until that departure that he had in 2020. I remember your agent, Ashley Rasul, at the time, and he said that Sundowns were very disrespectful and very distasteful in how your deal came to an end at Sundowns.
I'm a person that you can tell me straight, tell me, listen, this is what's happening, this, that. I remember we played a friendly only to find out that someone took my jersey and your number, and it was disrespectful. I took it on the chin. I said, listen, this is it. Let's just leave. I'm not going to fight anything because that's not me. I left. I'm still grateful for the club, for the opportunity.
#MSW. #MSW.
All right, a big night of football coming up, and we do have a studio guest. Looking forward to a conversation with Kwanele Kopo. He is here, he is in studio. But let's bring him up to speed, though, with the happenings after all the drama last night. My goodness. But looking forward to Bayern Munich travelling to Feyenoord, unfamiliar territory, I suppose, in the Champions League for them. Vincent Kompany's men are in a surprising 10th place with 12 points, while their host Feyenoord are 18th with 10 points. Now, the German side will need to be flawless in their two remaining matches if they are to finish in the top 8 and avoid playoffs ahead of the round of 16.
There's no doubt that in that area he shows a lot of very, very interesting skills and quality, and it's a tough skill to have. You think of so many strikers that have got all the other tools, speed and technique, and they can dribble and they can hold the ball up. But in that final bit, to just slow your heart down a little bit and to stay in the right spaces. Of course, we have one as well, like this. a few actually with Harry and Thomas Müller, who are fantastic examples. And every day I'm reminded of what top strikers do, but top defenders find solutions against that. And that's the interesting part about the game at top level. That's what the Champions League should bring.
Manchester City going to be facing Paris Saint-Germain at the Parc des Princes tonight, and what is a very crucial encounter for both of these teams after underwhelming campaigns in the Champions League so far. Pep Guardiola's side have mustered just 8 points from their 6 games for the first 6 games in the league phase, with PSG now a point further back. Defeat could leave either side, though, in danger of missing out on a place in the top 24 as well as the knockout phases.
Of course, it's a really important game for us, for PSG, but we have another game against Bruges at home, so I don't know how many points we will need. It's just in case we qualified. I know winning the 2 games is mathematically will be there, but maybe with just 1 victory we'll be there as well.
Also, Guardiola says that he's delighted by the arrival of the new defenders, Victor Reis as well as Kusanov.
Welcome back to them, to this City family. I'm very pleased. Really young players, so they come from many years and different type. Kusanov play here in France, so physicality extraordinary. Hopefully he can learn English as quick as possible, and Victor is a young talent in Brazil, and yeah, really pleased.
Right, so City, who are winners of the Champions League in 2023, endured a wretched run of form from the end of the old year, managing a single victory in 13 matches in all competitions. However, they've since recorded 4 wins and 5, including a 6-0 demolition of Ipswich Town that happened on Sunday.
The results have been good. The performance was good, the last one. The other ones we got results, but the performance was not our best, but where we come from. Results was really important, but now come the tough spirit of the season in terms of opponents. If you see the calendar, I say, wow, what they're going to play, but the challenge is there, and go for it.
Right, so tonight he's up against Luis Enrique, the PSG coach with whom he played with at Barcelona and who is one of his closest friends.
A part of the connection I can have with Luis, so we were mates in Barcelona, and after our families are really close friends. There are friendship that you know that will be eternal, will be for forever. We can be disagree in many things, but the intentions always are good. I love them. I think they love us, so we are incredible connection in many things. Even you had the feeling that is a person, a friend, like you cannot be in touch for a long time, but always is there. And we are happy when we see each other. Of course, I want for deep of my heart the horrible performance from PSG tomorrow, so that we can beat them, but will be the 95 minutes afterwards. The relation always will be there.
So the Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was handed a timely boost, though, ahead of the resumption of the UEFA Champions League campaign tonight, with both of his star players returning to training today.
Very positive news. Obviously, we missed them for a few weeks, and they returned today for training, so they will be available for the game. It was a big setback because he was getting some consistency, more minutes. We made him play in a different position. He was doing really well, and suddenly this happens. It's understandable. Obviously, the load as well goes through the roof immediately, and that's things that we have to manage. He's evolving well. The last few days he was feeling much better already, but this game comes a little bit too early for him.
Now, Arteta's men are in a very strong position, though, in the UEFA Champions League table with 2 games of the group phase to play. The North London side sit third, 13 points that they do have, with 6 other teams who make up the top 8 places, which automatically, though, qualify for the knockout stages.
Obviously, so far we've done really well. We're in a really strong position, and now it's time to capitalize at home. You know, the work that we've done for many months. So we need a strong performance today against a really good side, and we'll try to do that.
Right, so they face the Croatian champions Dinamo Zagreb at the Emirates Stadium. and they're now managed by the 2006 World Cup winning captain of Italy, Fabio Cannavaro. It will be the 2006 Ballon d'Or winners' first competitive match in charge of Dinamo, who sit in 24th, the final qualifying spot, though, for next month's knockout round playoffs. Now, Dinamo have won 18 of the last 19 Croatian League titles and are the only club from the nation to win major European trophy. That was the 1967 Intercities FA Cup. So, Dinamo Zagreb in form.
Yeah, incredible talent, what they've done for many, many years, very consistently as well. The type of football that they always play is a very particular country with very, very clear philosophy how they want to play the game. So, yeah, it's going to be a very difficult match. Obviously, with the new coach and with the fact that they haven't played a competitive match for a month, obviously we know the games that they play, the friendlies, and we watch them. And just to try to gather an ideas and more principles basically than systems and formations, because Fabio's played when he was in China different formation, when he was in Italy now as well. So to actually understand what they're going to do, know the idea behind it, probably just so we'll adapt to that tomorrow. We didn't play together, but obviously it's a really familiar face with a very specific history as well, and certain moments as well that obviously he became very important and very loved here, and then, as you said, the career he had there. So very good to see people coming back that they've been here with a big smile in their faces.
Right, so good football, great football, entertaining football. I guess if you watched the Barcelona game last night, you would know what a crazy game of football actually looks like. So find what, as I said, some of the top games playing tonight. PSG, Man City, Real Madrid playing against Salzburg. Sparta Prague take on Inter. We got Arsenal against Zagreb, AC Milan against Girona, as well as Shakhtar Donetsk playing against Brest, as well as RB Leipzig taking on Sporting. Entertainment galore. All I can tell you is that this man might not get all the credit that he deserves on the local front. I'll tell you more about him, but he's a brains trust engineer of football in many, many ways. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll introduce to you who he is.
Hashtag MSW live
Now
on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
That's KB. KB's in a video meeting with corporate right now, nodding contemplatively and remembering to unmute now and then to echo that sentiment. And KB just got naked. Yep, he bought comprehensive car insurance during the quarterly sales update. He got a quote online in 90 seconds with Naked, and he signed up instantly without a phone call. Well done, KB. You can now continue to circle back or touch base or whatever. Visit naked.insure now and get naked. Anyway, Naked Financial Technologies, an authorized FSP.
That's the sound of a small electric SUV with big performance. A quiet ride, but a loud statement that takes you from 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. And a battery that charges faster than your phone. Understated on the outside, with 428 horses on the inside. You've seen it. You've heard about it. It's time to drive the Volvo EX30 from only 791,900. Book a test drive today. T's and C's apply.
Get down to Dis-Chem this Friday 24 to Sunday 26 January for incredible one weekend only 2+1 cheapest free deals on the widest range of sports supplements, energy drinks and bars from top brands like Biogen, NPL, USN and many more. Get expert advice from our in-store consultants to help you reach your health and fitness goals. Excludes all advertised products. Only at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
The wheels are getting bigger at Lotto Star. Get ready to feel the thrill on our brand new exclusive slotteries. Lucky Lobola, Japanese Fortune and Kwaito Queen. With amazing features like scatters, wilds and slot bots. You could win instant payouts of up to 10 million rand. Spin the reels now. Only at Lotto Star. Your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
When the taxi driver threatens to go back to the rank cause imali shorter, your friend signs you up for a 10-kilometer run for fun, or your roommate wearing your favorite shirt without permission, here's what you are going to do. Tell them from now on, you are going to be their stylist. Put on those dusty running shoes because someone has to come last. And tell that taxi driver he can go back after dropping you off. That's grabbing life by the stick. Get the Nando's Cabo Society flatbread for only 55 Rand. Nando's, fire it up.
We are the shapeshifters, the ones who transform ideas into influence. We bend perceptions and mold minds. That's the power of the AAA School of Advertising. Become an industry force at Africa's only globally accredited advertising school. Choose marketing, design, copywriting, or art direction. And now take your creativity further with our new Digital Marketing Honours degree. Ready to shape tomorrow? Join us at aaaSchool.ac.za.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Newly appointed Richards Bay coach there, Papi Zotwane. And what about Papi Zotwane, though? Why choose to leave Magesi? The departure of Clinton Lawson, you guys were working well. I had him on the show. He spoke very highly of you. He spoke very highly of working alongside you. How did his departure affect you?
It did, Barop, because it's someone that I've worked with for a long time at Golden Arrows. I'm going to learn a lot because he's been in the game for long, so I knew my transition won't be that difficult.
One of the things that I wanted to ask you, though, was the resignation of Lawson. Do you feel, when you look back now, was it justified?
I don't want to go too deeper into that, Barop. Personally, I saw the signs of some of the things that he was going through.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
All right, before I introduce my guest, another part of the developing stories, though, has come through, because we do believe that from the South African Police Service, the SAPS, there has been a letter that has been just sent through. I'm not sure if the league has received it, but there is a query about a ticket allocation saying that a certain colonel who's appointed authorized member for the soccer team, or the soccer game between Royal AM and Orlando Pirates, scheduled for Thursday at the Herikwala Stadium. They're saying that the following safety and security concerns for this match have now arisen, saying that Royal AM have made a consignment of 5,000 tickets available for sale, saying that these tickets will be sold privately through their hair salon and not through Ticket Pro. And it must be borne in mind that Royal AM are currently under curatorship of SARS to recoup, as we all know, what's happening there. So I'm just trying to skim read this, saying that various services have expressed concern as to whether they will be paid for their services, and are now indicating that they will only render their services if paid up front. These services include, the private security, St. John's Medical Services, Ticket Pro, the speed fencing suppliers, who have also submitted their invoice and are awaiting payment. Royal AM in-house security are also currently on strike regarding unpaid salaries by Royal AM management. They have indicated that they are willing to perform their duties if unpaid salaries are paid, and it is very clear that Royal AM will not be able to pay these service providers prior to the game, as they are under curatorship. And it needs to be stated that without these service providers, there is a serious risk to the management of a safe and secure soccer match. So they're requesting the intervention of the league, as presently the safety and security of the match cannot be guaranteed if the said service providers withhold their critically required services. So yeah, as I said, a lot happening behind the scenes. All right, let's put that case for now on the substitutes bench and bring on a man who probably should never ever be on any bench, even a coaching bench, without a job. He should be on one permanently. And I can tell you that very few people have given so much of themselves to the beautiful game as has this gentleman. Many would never volunteer the length that this man has volunteered his services for, simply driven by passion, hunger to learn. I mean, he's done it all. From an admin perspective, one of the longest-serving members of Supersport United, the man made sure that he learned from the very best during his time with Matsatsansa. A genuine scholar of the game, is now a gaffer, and he recently parted ways with Chippa United. Ladies and gentlemen, KK Kwanele Kopo is in the house. Good to see you, sir. Welcome for the very first time.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to your listeners. Compliments of the new year. And thank you again for this opportunity.
I would say same to you. But very rarely, though. Why do you have a 1-year contract to coach a team when a season is not from January to December?
I think, difficult one to answer, but we needed probably a period to get to know each other. My first head coaching job. Maybe Chippa going in a little bit cautiously. But for me, I had no fear, to be honest. And I really, really appreciate, even today I say so, that I was excited for the opportunity, and I really, really appreciate the opportunity from Chippa United, the chairman, Chippa Mbengesi, and then the whole management of the club. But it's one of those things, Rob, where I think we had to get a feel of each other, and it was always going to be dependent on how the team is doing, and hence thereafter there were talks of a possible extension of the contract.
I mean, they gave an extension option as early as June.
Yeah, I think it was more into just early in the start of the of this season, and at that time I was starting as the head coach by my own. The previous 6 months I had worked as co-coach with Coach Thabo September, and as much as yes, I was heading the technical side, driving the technical side of the club, but it's different. I had Coach Thabo September, I had TD, Coach Morgan Mamila. So it was the three of us for 6 months. And then you go into a 6 months where you have to take sole control and direction of the project now. So I felt that the contract came in too early, and I needed some time to get a feel of how it would be by myself, contrary to the previous 6 months where there were three of us, we could bounce ideas off each other. And Coach Morgan was very, very helpful to us in adjusting to that also, played an important role. So the environment was changing. I felt the circumstances were changing, and I just wanted to get a feel before I could say, yes, I'll stay in the project long term or not.
But I mean, you broke a record at Chippa United. You stayed there for about a year. If I'm not mistaken, over a year at the club where many don't survive as far as that is concerned. That is very unusual. And yet you are still offered more to continue there. But do you pay mind, though, to the fact that a team as difficult to coach and stay in as Chippa United, you managed, Baba, you managed more than anybody else to do that?
Yeah, a lot of people say that to me. But I think we also have to give some credit to the management of the club. When we joined the club with Coach Thabo September, the chairman did say that he really wants to change, this perception of him chopping and changing, it's something that he wants to change in the club. And I think Coach Thabo and myself coming in with also a lot of background on youth, and coming from a strong environment like Supersport United, I guess the chairman had the faith and the trust that these could be the people that can take the project to a higher level and to the next level. And also bearing in mind that I'm born and bred in the Eastern Cape in Uitenhage. So it was more of also a homecoming. So I guess many factors played into a possibility of developing something that we can build Chippa to be a stable club, possibly to the levels of where maybe Supersport has reached in terms of what we've done at Supersport.
I think the reason why I asked about the year contract is that here we were celebrating. It was New Year's Eve, 31st of December. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And you were celebrating contract gone, because that is literally when your contract came to an end.
Yeah, well, not necessarily celebrating contract gone, but a reality came that our marriage was coming to an end, and difficult decision to take, because it was really an exciting project. And Chippa United is, I think Coach Gavin has said this in the time that he spent there. It's one club with a lot of potential, especially in the Eastern Cape, in the province, with all the talent and everything that is there. So a bit emotional to leave, but I felt a decision that I needed to take.
Can I push you on that? You have said that it was a personal decision to leave Chippa.
Yeah.
It was a personal decision that did not necessarily mean it had to do with family, because as a coach, you travel.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to know what this personal decision was?
I think for this whole month, Rob, I've really tried to stay away from going into the details, because obviously my relationship with the club and my employment conditions with the club are always between myself and the club. But I think what I have expressed is that I felt that I had given to Chippa United with everything that is available. I felt that I had given to Chippa United everything that I could with under in that environment and under the circumstances, maybe to share a little bit, but I can't really go into a lot of other details, because it's I've discussed a lot of things with the general manager at the club during my time at the club.
Sure.
But maybe to share a little bit, one of my responsibilities at the club, or the major responsibility at the club, yes, the major responsibility was the first team, but it was also to help with the development of the club. The DDC team, and also there's a team in the ABC Motsipe League that is called Peacemakers, which is associated with Chippa United, and then just generally the youth development of the club. And it's not an easy task, And as you've said, Chippa United is known as a club that at PSL level is difficult to manage and to stay on a long time. So weighing this was always difficult, and I tried and I stretched myself. I went to watch DDC training with Coach Tabo. We went to watch DDC training almost every week. We went to spend time with Peacemakers. We went to watch the games. So, but at the back of your mind, you always have that thing that this is a club where if you lose a few games, you're going to be out the door, So I always stressed that as much as I would like to do, and I'm excited to do these other things, but unfortunately the position I'm in requires that I pay 99% of my attention to the first team.
Sure.
Because that's where the immediate results are measured. So I feel that I could have done, and I wish that I could have done more for Chippa United, but I think it was always going to be difficult, especially in the position of head coach with the club.
Sure. I mean, I appreciate your honesty, because I think it's the first time you ventilated that publicly. Because knowing you as a coach, I also know that you know what it takes to travel as a coach. It takes you to different parts of the world. You can't say, I'm Pep Guardiola in Spain. I can't say yes to Man City coming through. It's a project, and you enjoy working in it. Having done as much as you did, taking a club out of relegation, taking them into a comfortable position, right up just missing out on a top 8 place. I think you had about 5 or 6 games to go still.
Yeah.
And you were comfortable, out of relegation. That was pretty much the mandate, probably is the mandate for many of the coaches that go to Chippa. What would you say is the footprint that Kwanele Kopo has left at Chippa United? We see it as fans. We got excited when we saw the fixture list and we saw it could be Chippa versus whoever. We would watch that game because of that footprint. I want you to describe what you left behind.
Yeah, difficult one, Rob. It's always difficult for me to assess myself, to be honest. I've a lot of people. There's been a lot of positive feedback I've received from people, but I think internally in the club, with the management of the club, the staff, and to a great extent also the players. But maybe let me categorize these differently to say that I think with the management and the staff, it was always the idea to think long term, to develop a concept. I think when we started at the beginning of this season, I said we are starting a 3-year project, and this was year 1 of that 3-year project. So it was to try and instill a mindset at Chippa United that we need to begin to think long term, because to build Chippa United to be like a SuperSport United, a Stellenbosch, these clubs that have built their reputation, especially on youth also, that takes time. So I think that's the first idea that I really would say that it's one that I stamped across to the management of the club, And obviously some operational issues management-wise to say, well, my experience from SuperSport and Wits University, by the way.
Can't leave that out.
You can't leave that out. That's where we started. But my experience from these clubs has been A, B, C, D, to say that and to share with everybody at Chippa United what we had to do to get a SuperSport United Youth Academy to be established, to be recognized, to be strong, to be successful, and to get that relationship between the first team and the academy to be successful in the progression of the players. And then with the staff, obviously when I came in at Chippa, there was staff that had also been brought by Coach Morgan, which we worked with from January to May in that last part of the season. And a lot of them remained the following season. I think we lost the goalkeeper coach to Wydad. He went with Coach Rulani. And unfortunately, we lost the fitness trainer. So the only change we made was to bring in a fitness trainer. And we took a coach internally as a goalkeeper coach. But it was more to teach the guys a level of professionalism, preparation. How do we prepare for training sessions? How do we do analysis? It was a little bit different to the way that they were doing it. How do we do the analysis? And I think most importantly, it was generally to instill an idea in the team that as much as we might want to play an exciting brand of football, at the end of the day, we need to play for a result.
Yes.
And I think this one was a bit difficult to instill in the first couple of months, because everybody was excited about we dominated this game and we dominated this game, and we did a lot of analysis. And in the analysis, we saw that we analyzed the goals that Chippa United had conceded and how we conceded those goals. We analyzed box entries into a Chippa United box. We analyzed our box entries into the other team. And what we saw was that as much as the team was having good possession in the games that we were playing, we were not having enough box entries into the opponent's box in terms of creating chances. But also a lot of the goals that we conceded and a lot of the chances that were being created against us emanated from us being dispossessed in the build-up. If we look in the first 6 months when we were there and when we did the analysis, the goalkeeper Stanley had made a lot of saves to keep Chippa in a lot of games. And I think with the time that we were there, we minimized that, because we structured the difference a little bit differently. We had an approach for each game, whether we're applying high pressure, medium pressure, or low pressure. We taught the players, how do we lock the game? If we've got a result that we want, or if we feel we're under pressure, how do we close this game? How do we lock a game? So these are all aspects about, at the end of the day, how do you get the result? Because in the professional league, unlike the youth, where in the DDC, because you are teaching, you can take a season where you're teaching the players and you can accept coming last. I came last 2 seasons in the DDC, but Tebogo Mokoena played there, Sipombule played there. I can count A lot of them.
The players that have gone on to
that
do
have-
bigger things and play for the national team. Yeah.
Before I came in here, I just got a message from Slaelo Rasaboja Iniesta at Orlando Pirates, who's playing at Orlando Pirates. He played there, So it was to instill that idea at Chippa to say, yes, it's a team that the chairman likes his team to play an exciting brand of football, but we need to get results. And I remember before I went to Chippa, I said to the chairman, one of the questions I asked him and the general manager to say, Chairman, if you look at the teams that always finish bottom in the league, especially in South Africa, what is common in these teams? And he said to me, what? And I said, I find that all of them are possession-based teams. They are the teams that everybody likes to go and watch. But if you look at the top of the table, it's probably Sundowns, Pirates, and Kaizer Chiefs.
Stellenbosch these days, yeah.
Stellenbosch have progressed these days, but Steve started fighting relegation, finishing 12th in that. So, and it's that big teams play and win. But you find there are teams that play possession week in, week out. It's exciting, but you're losing 1-0. You're losing one, and you can't be unlucky for 30 games or for 15 games. You've got to find what is the problem. And I think that's what we began to analyze and to say to the guys, we need to play and have a result at the end of the day.
Oh, it's like music, man. It's like music listening to this man. It is football, Gillo. It is, as I said, a beautiful lecture, but he talks very passionately about an academy, wanting to start the academy at Chippa, working with the academy. But this man was, 21 years at SuperSport United. 21 years, helped to build and form their academy. And then what? He got retrenched.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Drop into 2025 with a bang with Hollywood Bets and Pragmatic Play. Stand a chance to win a share of 5 million rand in cash, tech, and vouchers when you bet on selected slots and crash games on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays this January. Don't miss out. Bet now. T's and C's apply.
Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counselling line 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring 12.8% interest at expiry on my investment. How cool is that? You too can join the bank that backs you to grow your money. Pop into a branch near you or visit africanbank.co.za. African Bank. Audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
So why should I use We Buy Cars if I want to sell my vehicle?
Because We Buy Cars buys cars.
But will I get the right price?
Of course. We Buy Cars buys thousands of vehicles and knows exactly what every vehicle is worth. Their buyers deliver exceptional service and pay you immediately.
And how do I know what they'll pay for my vehicle?
It's easy. Visit webuycars.co.za or use the We Buy Cars app. Follow the simple steps and voila, you'll get a fantastic price for your car. We Buy Cars. Quick, easy, the best.
This January, expect bigger, better, and tastier deals than before with Meat World's No Worry January. Get bulk topside mince at an epic $69.99 per kg. Bulk beef chuck, shin, or brisket for $79.99 per kg. And bulk assorted lamb packs at a flavoursome $119.99 per kg. Coming to a Meat World near you. Valid 22 to 28 January. What stocks last? T's and C's apply. Meat World, your friendly family butcher.
Excited about your future? Join Richfield's nationwide open day every day this week, including Saturday. Tour our state-of-the-art campuses, meet your future lecturers, and find your perfect fit with our range of qualifications. Can't make it? Join the virtual open day sessions or simply visit us online at richfield.ac.za for more.
My wife asked me to deal with the roof leak in the kitchen. Thought I had fixed it, but surprise, it's back. She is not happy.
If you don't want to sleep on the couch tonight, just get Flash Harry and sort it out.
Flash Harry? Like a magician for leaks?
No, Flash Harry, the go-to solution for a leak-free home. Trusted by South Africans since 1975.
Where can I find it?
Any good hardware store. Flash Harry. It just works. Find your nearest stockist at flashharry.co.za.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Newly appointed Richards Bay coach there, Papi Zotwane. What about Papi Zotwane, though? Why choose to leave Magesi?
It was a personal decision, Prarop. It got to a level where I felt I can no longer contribute anymore. Sometimes, in a way, you must not just take money around with no effort. I felt the energy was lacking for me for some reasons. And I don't want to go to work with no energy, with no intention, just to go there because I'm getting paid.
Can you save Richards Bay?
I believe in unity. I believe in teamwork because I can believe that the team can be saved. But if other members don't have faith in that or hope to say we can move out from this, it's going to be difficult. I'm confident that the team can turn the corner.
#MSW. #MSW.
Hi Rob, greetings to you and greetings to all MSW shareholders. Also greetings to Coach KK Paneleko. I want to find out from the coach, why are you not so much recognized by a lot of football stakeholders like club owners and stuff like that? Because as far as I have known you have been a great development coach, and only the players you coached speak highly of you. Why is it that club owners and other football stakeholders don't speak highly of you? I know you cannot buy recognition, but I believe you deserve to be recognized more than what is happening. Thanks,
Rob and MSW listeners. KK is one of the best football players that we have in the country. I was in disbelief when I had the announcement that him and Chip have opted to part ways. He's a very valuable resource, which I think can be beneficial if added to bigger teams which have got a vision and which are stable. He can be able to bring some silverware to them. I still hope that one day he will partner with people like Dan Stans and Rulani and be that nuclear for a particular team and bring silverware. And otherwise, best wishes to him. And he should have not considered Chipa in the first place. They are unstable as Clevo and Centurion.
Good afternoon. My message to Coach Kopa, I like the style Coach Kopa is playing. I like the mentor. I like when they discipline the player. I wish Coach Kopa a very good journey to any team. Bengimfisela ukuthi athole team right Coach Kopa ngoba udiscipline kakhulu coach engadila nama-player adiscipline. I-discipline yakhe is very good. Mangimshela ilakhi ukuthi ngathi angathola i-team right abafana abamamelayo because nesitayile sakhe asidlalayo se-understandeka ama-player ayas-understanda. Ya ngimshela okuhle nje coach Kope, ngimshela okuhle uNkulunkulu abe naye kujeni yakhe azoyihamba. Ngiyabonga.
Oh man, what a popular man. So many of the WhatsApp voice notes that are coming through, all saying one thing about how great he is, and I fully agree. I think one of the first voice notes the coach came through says, maybe it's an unfair question to you, but maybe you've got the answer.
No.
Why do you not get the recognition that you deserve?
I think, Rob, you might have the answer to you might have the answer to that question.
Can I answer a portion of it? I think a lot of people that are in charge of the game are cowards. I think they are cowards. They are cowards because they don't want to make a bold and brave move. If you could take a Chippa United from relegation to 9th place within the Betway Premiership, I cannot see a reason why any other coach or any other chairman of any other club would not follow suit and give you a project from the beginning. Because when you leave a team position 9, I mean 14 points, 11 games, etc., etc. I shudder to think that when a season starts and a team says, Kwanele, let's sit down, let's talk. Please bring something to our team. I don't even want to mention any names of current clubs that take decisions, again, purely based on the fact that they, as chairman of the clubs, can control the coaches, can tell the coach who they must have in their starting lineup, who they must play, who must they substitute and at what time. All I'm saying is that keep your independence. Your results will speak for themselves.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rob. I think I have no words. I'm humbled by the voice notes, obviously, from the football followers. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm a person of faith, and I believe that there was a purpose to me being at Chippa United. You know, there was a purpose of me being at Pretoria Kelly's. Maybe one needed to break that dark of being referred to as a development coach. When one has sat in the same classes and done the same education as many other coaches that you've had here.
Sure.
I don't want to mention names out of respect, but I think a lot of big coaches I've sat with in the same classes, and I know that I'm highly regarded by my colleagues, these coaches. I've 2004 I was assistant coach to Pitso Mosimane at SuperSport United. I've been to Youth World Cup, AFCON tournaments. I've been to the Olympics. I've worked at Bafana Bafana. So in terms of education, knowledge, experience, I think it is there. But we view football differently from place to place, from club to club. And in South Africa in general, I think also we view football differently to how maybe clubs approach in Europe and how they look in terms of what they want to achieve. I've always said that I feel that in South Africa, we're too short term. You know, everybody looks in front of their toes and not what is going to happen in 3. There's few clubs that say in 3 years' time we want to see ourselves here, and then be patient enough to see that 3 years. And maybe that's why there's always this inconsistency in certain teams in terms of results or the league, and then there's a high turnover of coaches, because I think it's brought about by a lot of short-term view. You know, we want something now. We want immediate. And if you look at the big clubs, if you look at the clubs that are referred to as the big clubs in South Africa now, what is happening? The youth is coming through, because the economy also dictates so. You know, the value of players in the market is so high that if you don't develop your own players, you're going to find yourself struggling in the next 5 to 10 years in football.
You develop players. I won't say you're struggling, because you'll find a job. You've said you're going to be open to being a head coach, an assistant coach. You're open to being a technical director. You're open to all of those positions. I said, man, and I saw the headline, I didn't leave SuperSport. SuperSport left me. You remember those words?
That journalist put me in trouble. Yeah.
No, you're not in trouble.
You're
not in trouble.
Yeah.
That was you speaking because you had not expected to be retrenched when there was restructuring happening at a football club that you've given your life to. I'm not saying that anybody has a job for life.
Yeah.
How do you take that now on the 22nd of January 2025?
Oof. Robert, difficult one. Yeah. I think after Wits, you know, I was given an opportunity at SuperSport. I was recruited by Stan Matthews. And it's one that has probably contributed the most to who I am today, the type of coach I am today, the knowledge that I have today. SuperSport gave me a lot of opportunities. And to be honest, yes, clubs go do restructuring and all that, you know. And it was a bit of a shock to me at that time to be one of those people that would have to leave the club. But I'm grateful for the time that I had at the club. And emotionally, it was painful. But the club handled my exit well, you know. I was looked after when I left the club. I think thanks to Stan Matthews and Mr. Graham Abrahams and the chairman of SuperSport United, Mr. Kulu Sibia. It was always home to me. It's one project that I think a lot of people very few people know my time at Wits University. I think yourself and but a lot of people have come to know me through my time at SuperSport United. So it was difficult emotionally. I think it's something that still, when it's brought up, it comes. To have also one of the best, to meet and work with one of the best human beings, if I can say so, in the late Tommy Marichache. May his soul rest in peace. So it was a club that one had hoped that you can stay to see. I always said to Stan, we should have a plan where we must one season have a starting 11 in the first team of players that have come from the academy.
Wow.
And we tried that with Kevin Johnson. We brought up, but we didn't get to 11, But I'm proud of my time at SuperSport United. I appreciate everything they've done for me. I am who I am today because of SuperSport United. But I think going out also has helped me, and some people come into professional coaching and start at the top. God decided I'll start at the bottom.
No, you bide your time beautifully. I'm going to catch you there because another K, not Kwanele, not Kopo, but another K. He says, good evening. Coach KK is an accomplished football servant, a great intellectual, a wise counselor of me. He says, in him lies my source of inspiration and encouragement. People of KK's caliber are always needed in our football industry. You can listen to Coach KK the whole time. Wish him to have another project soonest. Hey, that's Bra Kenneth. You know Bra Kenneth, eh? You know Bra Kenneth.
No, I know him.
You know Bra
I know him.
Hi, Rob. I hope you're good. You have got one of the best tacticians there in studio, Coach KK. I remember one incident in 2019 when we qualified for the Olympics with under 23 in Egypt. And he came to my room at 2 a.m. and we stayed up until breakfast time. Both our phones rang for reminding us that it's breakfast time. And we're sitting there trying to figure out a specific set piece from Ghana, that just proves how much of an astute tactician he is. Analyzing against him recently, one of the most detailed teams in all phases of play. Amazing tactician. Just want to pass my greetings to him and wish him everything of the best, moving forward. And South Africa is blessed to have someone like Coach Kopo and his knowledge of the game. Thank you, Rod. Regards. I think he knows exactly who's this.
Yeah,
I know exactly who that is.
Say no more. We will talk again when that appointment is made. There's so many other voice notes, guys. I do apologize. I did say to Coach KK that he came on such a dramatic day of breaking news and all sorts of things. I do owe him the time, and I owe him the time with you, everybody that's listening and everybody that's spared the time to send these voice notes that I cannot play right now. Sure. What a journey, man. You deserve to be there. And bide your time again.
It will continue.
The right job is on its way. Coach, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Bob.
Thank you very much, Rob. And just if you can allow me to say again, thank you to everybody who supported me. Again, thanks to Chippa United.
Yeah.
And to my family. It's been a difficult year being away from home. To my wife, Precious, my kids, and Dandon, Tutuzelo, and Tseka. And to everybody in the football fraternity that has really helped to give the recognition. And I hope that others that are upcoming also that are doing well would get the same. But thank you very much.
Coach Kwanele Kopo, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you again tomorrow. Tune in again for Marawa Sports Worldwide. Proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.